As a single woman of a certain age, unwed and childless, there are just stupid questions that we have to deal with on an all too regular basis. I was on the phone with an uncle, and I remembered that his son had recently gotten married. His son is probably like 3 to 5 years older than me. And he eloped and decided to have a reception and invite family and friends. My mom went, she reported back, she said it was lovely. So I congratulated my uncle and said, I hope you had a great time, yada, yada. And he said, thank you. And then said, you jealous? The toxic, just peak toxic. And of course I said, why would I be jealous? My life is beautiful. Whatever's for me will arrive when it's time. And of course he laughed and said, oh, he was joking. He was not joking. The fact that I'm waiting to be intentional about starting a family almost feels like I'm doing it wrong, like I'm doing it backwards. It feels, not to me, but it feels like it's being projected onto me. It makes me think of my cousins. I have 2 girl cousins. One is slightly older and one is slightly younger. We all grew up together. And around 18, we diverged. We took our separate paths. One got pregnant and the other one broke out. She moved in with her boyfriend, dropped out of college, and got a day job and just decided to do that hustle. One did the baby hustle, one did I don't know what that was. But I chose the path of least responsibility. I went to undergrad. I was like, I'm just gonna do my little work study job. I'm gonna get these grades. I'm gonna intern. I'm gonna study abroad. I like this, okay? Might have been the more expensive route, but now I'm at a place of comfort. I got all that stuff out of my system at a certain age, and I can lean into this comfortable next stage in my life with full intentionality, and like direction and purpose. But they don't hear that though. They don't see that though. They don't get that though. Like I had another conversation with a dear aunt of mine, zero filter. I love that about her. She gets away with a lot of stuff with me. We were talking about my cousins and comparing ages, and she needed to use me as a reference point because we're close and that's how she gauges everyone else. And I told her, and she said, whoa. And she's basically like, speed it up. Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't we there yet? I always think to myself, why do they keep asking the wrong questions? The questions are never, are you fulfilled? What's next for you in life? Where do you see yourself? It's always about, where's the man? When are the babies coming? As if that's within my control. And as someone who's given themselves like over to God daily, like, God, may your will be done in my life today, every day. You would think that these older, very religious people would understand that as well, but no. It's old, it's late, it's tired, and we see it for what it is. It's projections. I'm gonna get real personal. Personal about my relatives. My aunt, she was never married, never had kids, and that's a regret of hers. She's held a lot of resentment about men who cheated on her and all of that, and that just made her close off her heart. And we had a conversation about that. Like, I asked her, Is that a regret that you have? Like, would you, if you could go back, would you have allowed yourself to, date again and find love? And absolutely, that's a regret she has. So she's projecting that onto me. She just doesn't want me to live like that, to end up, the way she did, living alone in her late 70s. And I get it. I brought up my girl cousins because it's funny, at that age, around 18, when, people start taking their different paths. Some people while out, and people who while out at 18 get so much more grace. They make their mistakes at that age. These are mistakes that carry through your life. Like a baby, that's for the rest of your life. But okay, that's fine. Like, no judgment. Babies are a blessing. They seem to get over that, after the initial blow of like, oh my gosh, she's pregnant, or oh my gosh, she dropped out of school and is doing whatever. They move on pretty quickly. Like after a year, it's like they're doting over the baby, and after a year, they're back to just accepting the situation for whatever it is with the daughter who's like now an adult. But again, as a grown woman who is legal in all the ways, I can buy anything I want to at the store. I can rent a car. Like, I am all the way at legal age. And not just any adult. An adult that is paying her own bills and dreaming big dreams and keeping her spirit and body and mind safe from distractions and toxicity and, falling into traps with men and having babies and divorces. And again, the question for me is always like, so where do you expect me to get this man? Like, am I like I Dream of Genie? Like, do you want me to manifest him out of thin air? How do I attack this? What are your expectations? Do I just go outside and get chose? Just let anybody choose me? Do I just choose just anybody because my biological clock is ticking? It's like, are we forgetting the divinity in just allowing in the partner, the purpose partner, the person that we're, meant to do life with? Are we just settling for anybody, just any old body? Again, having these conversations with like older folks, people that I love, big grown people who've seen a lot of life. It's disappointing that we keep missing the plot. We're missing the bigger picture of this. Like, I'm ready for partnership. I want partnership, but until the right partnership materializes, there's not much I can do but live in joy with myself and my dog, and travel and build the relationships that are closest to me with my siblings and my parents and my friends. So for dreamers and doers out here like me, and probably you if you're watching this and relating to this is some real foreign stuff to them. But at the end of the day, tact, folks, tact. If you can't approach people with tact, at the very least, how about we mind our own business? Because everyone's path is different. Everyone's path is singular, unique. And we all just have to live to our heart's content. So, yeah, I'm curious to know what y'all have been experiencing, especially those of us who are later in youth, mid-youth, later in youth, because I am not old, okay? Thank you. How do you deal with it? Are you diplomatic? Do you go off on them? Let's not go off on the elders, guys. They can't help themselves. That's it for me for today.